Tonight's headlines: DOE orders distributors to ensure stable supply. Senate ayes approval of vaccine indemnification bill. Return of face-to-face classes up to Duterte. COVID-19 cases in the country at 555,163. Philippines awaits Pfizer's counter-offer on indemnity deal. Our ring may intensify into severe tropical storm. Philippine stock index peso slip anew. And banks cheer passage of FIS law. Good evening. Today is Thursday, February 18, 2021. I'm Miguel Paltagon and this is Tribune News on Cue. Here are the stories for this evening. Department of Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi on Thursday has directed all power distribution utilities to ensure there is reliable and stable electricity supply during the rollout of the government's COVID-19 vaccine program. The order was in view of the government's COVID-19 vaccination rollout program by the end of the first quarter of 2021, the Energy Chief said in an advisory dated 16 February 2021. In the advisory, DOS were ordered to ensure continuous, reliable, and stable power supply for COVID-19 vaccine cold storage and healthcare facilities through backup generating sets and/or distribution system configuration. Power distributors were also directed to update their emergency response protocols and business continuity plans to be responsive to the prioritization of the COVID-19 vaccines cold storage facilities in cases of power outages. Senate Minority Leader Juan Miguel Zubiri said Thursday that the Senate aims to approve measures seeking to establish a vaccine indemnity fund and expedite procurement of COVID-19 vaccines on second and third final reading on Monday. Zubiri made the remark after President Rodrigo Duterte certified as urgent Senate Bill 2057 and House Bill 8648, which both provide for indemnification fund and speedy COVID-19 vaccine procurement. Senate Bill 2057 seeks to authorize the Department of Health and National Task Force Against COVID-19 to undertake negotiated procurements of COVID-19 vaccines and the ancillary supply and services for their storage, transport, and distribution. A 500 million peso COVID-19 National Indemnity Fund will also be established under the measure and will only be used to compensate any inoculated person who will be experiencing severe adverse effect or worse, death. Education Secretary Leonor Briones said that President Rodrigo Duterte will be kept abreast of developments on the possible return of face-to-face classes to help him make a final decision on the matter. Briones said that she will present at least 4 conditions for the resumption of the face-to-face classes to Duterte. These conditions include approval of the concerned local government, consent of the parents, availability of the proper facilities, and safety in transportation. Briones pointed out that the current situation is different since Duterte recalled his order to start a pilot test on face-to-face classes in December last year after the emergence of the UK variant of the COVID-19. Tribune News on Cue will be back after these reminders.
it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap. It's a wrap, just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan. Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hello, can I get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung soft ha, tapos slide, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako mapadeliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa, cancel ko sa Lipa? Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami
Call
mag-deliver.
to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
Iba ng panahon, ang dami ng bago ngayon. Pati ang mundo natin, well, nagbago na rin. Buti ang bayan, bigger, better na. You can buy it to centers, pati sa mga partners may online pa at app. You can buy it with your fingers, still don't remittance and more. Online shopping, you can buy it all. Di magpadala, you can buy it all. Anong pera transaction, you can buy it all.
Sabayan ang pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayan.
The Department of Health reported 1,744 confirmed coronavirus disease cases on Thursday to bring the total number of infections in the country to 555,163, even as 6 laboratories failed to submit data on time. The number of recoveries, on the other hand, rose to 512,375 after 412 more patients have recovered from the respiratory disease, while death toll is now at 11,673 with 96 new fatalities recorded. There are also 31,115 active cases undergoing treatment or quarantine, of which 85.6% are mild, 8.6% are asymptomatic, 2.5% are severe, and 2.5% are in critical condition. Data from the DOH also show that 63% of the country's intensive care unit beds are available, while 80% of the mechanical ventilators are ready for use. In other news, Vaccine Czar Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr. said Thursday that the Philippines is still awaiting American drug maker Pfizer counter-proposal to indemnity agreements submitted by the government amid a delay in the delivery of 117,000 doses. On Monday, the World Health Organization said indemnification agreement from the Philippines has been received by Pfizer. Galvez said it was not until recently that Pfizer sought an indemnity agreement for its COVID-19 vaccines. The delivery of the first batch of Pfizer-BioNTech doses, expected in mid-February, remains in limbo as the Philippines and the American firm iron out the details of the indemnity agreement. State Weather Bureau Pag-asa on Thursday announced that the tropical storm Auring, with international name Dushan, may intensify into a severe tropical storm within 48 hours. According to Pag-asa weather specialist Ariel Rojas, Auring was estimated at 640 kilometers east-southwest of Hinatuan, Surigao del Sur, with maximum standard winds of 65 kilometers per hour near the center and gustiness of up to 80 kilometers per hour at 4 p.m. It is moving northwestward at 10 kilometers per hour, and Rojas said tropical cyclone wind signals may be raised in several areas in Visayas and Mindanao starting Friday. And the tropical storm may also make landfall over Caraga area on Sunday morning. Meanwhile, this weekend through Monday, heavy rainfall is expected over Visayas, the Bicol region, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Caraga, northern Mindanao, and nearby areas. We'll pause for a short break. Stay with us.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
In business, the Philippines' main equity index slipped anew Thursday on news about U.S. monetary officials' concerns on the pace of the recovery of the world's largest economy, which in turn also affected the peso during the day. The Philippine Stock Exchange Index shed 1.68% or 116.79 points to 6,849.64 at the closing bell. The broader all shares declined by 1.02% or 43.05 points to 4,170.48. Regina Capital Development Corp head of sales Luis Limlingan said that the Philippine shares fell once again after minutes from the Federal Reserve's January meeting showed officials were skeptical about the U.S. economy improving enough to warrant removing monetary stimulus anytime soon. Volume totaled 16.62 billion shares amounting to 8.89 billion pesos. Losers led gainers at 113 to 109 while 39 shares were unchanged. The peso meantime weakened to 48.50 against the US dollar from 48.38 on Wednesday. It opened that day sideways at 48.35 and traded between 48.50 and 48.32. The Philippine banks on Thursday cheered the passage of the law which would allow financial institutions to offload soured loans to asset management companies, which they said would lead to higher lending activities amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The Bankers Association of the Philippines expressed its support to financial institutions' strategic transfer bill, which allows a corporation to invest in or acquire non-performing assets from financial institutions and engage in third parties to manage dispose of such assets. This was signed into law by President Rodrigo Duterte earlier this week, backed by Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Benjamin Diokno, who said that the borrower's capacity may be weakened by disruption in their cash flows by end 2020. According to Diokno, the draft implementing rules and regulations of the FIS law is now with the Securities and Exchange Commission and is now being circulated to the industry for comments. That wraps up the stories tonight. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store or Google Play to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber, Katribu, to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Starcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just visit the sticker store and on Viber and search for Katribu. Before we go, I would like to thank the SM Store and Araneta City for their continued support. Again, this is Miguel Paltagono, and you're watching Tribune News on Cue. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good night, and God bless us all.
Sir, ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.